welcome. Imagine for a moment what it would feel like to wake up tomorrow and realize that every part of your life, your mornings, your relationships, your mind, your finances, and your energy were completely aligned. How would it feel to open your eyes and know that no matter what happens in the world outside, your inner world remains calm, steady, and filled with purpose? Now be honest with yourself. How many times have you secretly wished that your life would simply organize itself? That everything would just fall into place on its own? That with enough time things would eventually get better without you having to intervene? The truth is, chaos does not vanish by magic. If you don't take control of it, it spreads into your time, your emotions, your environment, your finances, and even into your dreams. And that's exactly what I want to talk to you about today. Something uncomfortable, but deeply transformational. No one is coming to put your life in order for you. Not a teacher, not your partner, not your boss, not a friend. Only you can do that. Jim Rohn said it clearly. Discipline is the foundation of freedom. Tracy echoes the same truth in every seminar. Organization is the soil where success grows. And the Stoics understood this centuries ago. The disorder you see outside is only a mirror of the chaos you carry inside. Maybe you felt that invisible weight before. The anxiety of a packed schedule, the exhaustion of running all day without making real progress, the guilt of unfinished tasks, or the stress of not knowing where to even begin. But here's a truth that could change your life forever. Order is not a luxury. It is self-love. It is the very first step toward reconnecting with your power, your clarity, and your peace of mind. Today, I'm going to share with you 10 powerful principles to force yourself to get organized, to stop living in survival mode, and to finally take control of your life. If you apply them, you will experience clarity and momentum like never before. But before we begin, do something for yourself. Go to the comments and write, "Today I decide to bring order to my life." That is your first step of commitment. Take a deep breath, open your mind, and prepare yourself. Because the first principle is the most decisive of all. Principle 1, wake up and take control. Your life will not organize itself. How many times have you hoped that, with enough time, things would simply get better? That if you waited, if you endured, or if someone came to rescue you, the chaos would fade away and clarity would appear? But here's the liberating truth. Life does not organize itself. Chaos in your mind, in your routines, in your environment, these are like weeds in a garden. If you don't cut them down, they multiply and take over. Jim Rohn said it with no hesitation. No one else will do your push-ups for you. This responsibility is yours, and yours alone. The Stoics understood it as well. The first true act of power is to awaken. And awakening is not just about opening your eyes in the morning. It's about becoming conscious of your reality. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. And that quality begins when you stop running away from what doesn't work and face it with courage." Maybe right now you feel everything is out of control. Debts piling up, toxic relationships, unhealthy habits you can't break, constant fatigue, lack of purpose, or never-ending anxiety. But listen closely. This is not punishment. It's consequence. It's the echo of every excuse, every delay, every harmful choice you knew you shouldn't make but made anyway. The good news? If you created it, you can transform it. Tracy teaches that taking 100% responsibility is the first step to freedom. When you claim control, you stop being a victim of circumstance and you become the creator of your destiny. Yes, it may hurt to admit it, but it's also deeply empowering. Because if the responsibility is yours, then the power is yours too. Stop blaming your parents. Stop blaming the economy, the government, your partner, or the algorithm. The day you stop looking for culprits and start looking within, that is the day you begin to regain your inner strength. Want to know if you're trapped in chaos? Look at your habits. Do you constantly procrastinate? Do you surround yourself with people who drain you instead of lifting you? Do you complain more than you give thanks? Do you wake up tired, unmotivated, and without direction? Do you feel that your potential is slipping away? That's your soul silently screaming at you to wake up. But instead of listening, many people numb themselves with distractions, food, social media, endless work, or excuses. Epictetus said, "We cannot control what happens, but we can control how we respond." The real question is, will you keep responding like a victim, or will you step forward as the protagonist of your life? No one is coming to lift you up. But that is not a curse, it's an, now I pause to tell you something important. If this message is resonating with you, and you want to go even deeper into your personal growth, I invite you to visit my website, thepowerofyourmindx.com. The link will be in the description of the video. There you will find more speeches like this, designed to inspire you and help you transform your life. And now, we continue. Opportunity. Because if you take the first step, if you decide to take the wheel, everything begins to change. Not because the world gets easier, but because you grow stronger. Today is the day to look yourself in the mirror with honesty. You don't need more motivation. You only need to be tired of staying the same. Wake up. Your life will not organize itself. Stand up, take control, and begin building the best version of you. It won't be easy, but it will be yours. If this resonates with you, don't just nod and move on. Go to the comments right now and write, "Today I start taking control." Make this your real awakening, because after opening your eyes to reality, the next step is absolutely crucial. Principle 2. Your schedule is your soul. Design your days with intention. Take a moment to look at your schedule. It could be a planner, a digital app, or simply the mental map of what you think you'll do today. What do you see? A long list of tasks that overwhelm you? Commitments you accepted without thinking? Blank spaces filled with anxiety? Or do you see clarity, direction, and space for what truly matters? The way you use your time reflects the way you live. Tracy says, "Every minute you waste is a piece of your life you can never get back." It's not just about efficiency. It's about recognizing that your calendar is the canvas where, day by day, you paint the picture of who you are becoming. Here's the trap. Being busy doesn't mean you're progressing. We live in a culture that glorifies hustle, multitasking, and overbooked agendas. But how many times have you ended the day exhausted yet unsatisfied? How many days have slipped through your fingers, full of activity, but empty of progress? Marcus Aurelius warned us, "Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good." That goodness begins by honoring your time. And you honor your time only when you design your days with awareness. Rohn put it bluntly, either you run the day or the day runs you. If you don't design your schedule, someone else will. Think about this for a moment. Who's really running your days? Is it your boss, your fears, your distractions, or worse? Are you living on autopilot? Being organized is not about cramming your calendar with endless activities. It's about learning to choose consciously. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't matter, you're saying no to your goals, your rest, your relationships, and your mental health. So ask yourself, what am I saying yes to every day? What am I saying no to? Does my schedule reflect what I truly value, or just my unconscious habits? Today, I set aside time for what genuinely makes me grow. That is the first practical step. Block out time for reflection, for creativity, for your body, And for your relationships, don't leave it to chance. Protect those spaces as if they were sacred, because they are. If it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist in your reality. Now, here's the test. Do a brutally honest review. What are the 3 most important tasks you can do today that will move you toward the life you desire? Write them down first in your agenda, and do them before you let yourself be dragged into what's urgent. Sometimes, real productivity is not in what you do, but in what you decide not to do. Tracy calls this the eat that frog rule. Start your day with the most important and most challenging task. Because once you do, the rest of the day feels lighter. But beware of the trap. Most people begin their mornings by checking messages, scrolling through social media, or handling other people's priorities. Don't do that. Start with what you decided is essential. Remember, your agenda is not a prison. It's a mirror of your values. Every free space is a possibility. Every appointment is a commitment to yourself. When you learn to say no without guilt, to prioritize with courage, and to let go without excuses, you reclaim your power. Epictetus said it clearly. Freedom is not the ability to do whatever you want, but the ability to not be enslaved by what you don't want. Choosing what enters and what doesn't enter into your day is an act of sovereignty and self-respect. Stop waiting for more time. Start making space with the time you already have. Don't wait to feel less busy. Learn to be busy only with what truly matters. Because what you don't organize, you lose. And here's the next crucial step. Having a clean calendar is not enough if your days begin and end in disorder. Principle 3. Morning and evening rituals. The invisible steering wheel. The way you start and end your day shapes everything in between. Your mornings and nights are the invisible rudders steering your focus, your energy, and your state of mind. Tracy said it best. Successful people are in control of how they begin and how they end their days. That is where the game is won or lost. The Stoics knew this centuries ago. Marcus Aurelius would start his day by reminding himself of the kind of man he wanted to be and how he wished to act in the world. He didn't throw himself into chaos. He began with clarity and purpose. Now contrast that with what most people do today. They wake up and immediately check their phones, surrendering their focus to the outside world before they've even decided who they want to be. And at night, they scroll endlessly, fill their minds with noise, and go to bed overstimulated instead of closing the cycle of the day with peace. Ask yourself, what do you do in the first 30 minutes after waking and in the last 30 minutes before sleeping? Are you sowing focus, calm, and purpose, or repeating a pattern of disorder? Rohn explained it simply. Discipline begins with the smallest habits. Morning and evening rituals are not about following trendy routines from Instagram. They're about creating simple, personal practices that anchor you, center you, and help you live with clarity. Your rituals don't need to be long or complicated. In the morning, you might write down your thoughts before the world intrudes. Read something inspiring, practice gratitude or meditation, stretch, breathe deeply, or simply look outside and remember you're alive. At night you could write what you learned, what you're grateful for, or what you need to release. Turn off your screens at least 30 minutes before sleep. Do a short breathing exercise or meditation to quiet your mind and close the day intentionally. The power is in the consistency, not perfection. These small, repeated choices send a powerful message to your brain. I am in command. Joseph Murphy said it clearly. The subconscious responds to repetition. By ritualizing your mornings and nights, you train your mind to find calm and structure in the midst of chaos. Now imagine this. What if every morning you began with direction and every evening you ended with peace? You don't need an hour. 10 focused minutes are enough to shift your energy and your life. Discipline is the spark of inner order. Make this commitment today. Dedicate the beginning and the end of your day to yourself. Make them sacred, non-negotiable moments, a personal sanctuary where you cultivate clarity, gratitude, and serenity. When these rituals become part of your essence, your days stop feeling like battles and start becoming creations, designed and led by you. Principle 4. Order your physical and digital space. Because intention and rituals are powerful, but they collapse if you're surrounded by chaos. Pause for a moment and look around. What do you see on your desk, in your bedroom, in your kitchen, your car, or even on your phone's home screen? Disorder is not just visual. It is a reflection of your inner state. It affects your concentration, your energy, and your ability to move forward. Tracy says it clearly. A clean space is the home of a focused mind. If your environment is cluttered with objects, papers, unfinished tasks, and constant notifications, your mind will be cluttered too. Anxiety rises, focus disperses, and progress slows down. The Stoics already sensed this truth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The life of a man is what his thoughts make of it." But if your thoughts are born in the middle of disorder, how can you expect clarity? External chaos feeds internal chaos. Every misplaced object, every forgotten file, every unchecked notification steals your focus and drains your energy. And it's not just about the physical world. Your digital environment, your phone, your emails, your endless stream of social media can often be even more polluted than your desk. Ask yourself, how much time do you waste searching for things, postponing decisions, or endlessly reorganizing without ever finishing? How many tabs, apps, and notifications are left open under the excuse of, "I'll sort this later"? The first practical step is simple. Choose one small area and organize it with intention. It could be your desk, your backpack, your downloads folder, or even your inbox. With each item or file, ask, does this add value to my life? Or does it simply take up space? Do I truly need this? Or do I keep it out of habit? Repeat this exercise, one corner at a time. You'll feel relief, not just visually but mentally. Your mind will finally begin to breathe. You don't need to throw everything away or live like a minimalist monk. The goal is to keep only what contributes, what supports the life you are consciously designing. Don't forget your digital space. Delete unused apps, silence pointless notifications, and bring order to your files and emails. Less is more. Every organized space is a piece of your mind reclaimed. Establish screen-free zones. Create moments of silence for reflection, creativity, or rest. As Jim Brown wisely said, you cannot build a strong mind in a weak environment. Care for your surroundings as much as you care for your thoughts. Make this commitment today. Organize one physical or digital space in your life. Do it intentionally, not out of obligation. Each time you eliminate external noise, you create room for inner clarity. A clean environment is a silent affirmation. I respect myself, I value my time, and I am committed to my purpose. And once your physical and digital environments begin to reflect the calm you desire, it's time to turn inward. Who and what is taking up space in your emotional world? The next step is discovering why setting boundaries and cleansing your inner world is just as vital as organizing the visible. Because your peace and your power depend deeply on who and what you allow to remain in your life. Pause for a moment and reflect. Who do you share most of your time, attention, and emotions with? Are you surrounded by people who uplift you, inspire you, and challenge you to grow? Or do you spend your days with those who pull you into conflict, negativity, and distraction? Tracy said it clearly. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. It's not only about companionship, it's about energy, vibration, and direction. Your emotional atmosphere, your relationships, your habits, your daily interactions can become either your greatest fuel or your heaviest anchor. The Stoic philosophers already understood this. Epictetus suggested guarding your mind as if it were a sacred temple, refusing to let the noise and demands of others disturb your serenity. Rohn put it perfectly. Learn to set boundaries, not out of selfishness, but as an act of self-respect. Each time you allow toxicity to remain in your life, your focus and inner strength weaken. The challenge is that the most draining bonds are often subtle. Disguised judgment presented as advice, constant emotional neediness, or the habit of giving in just to avoid conflict. There is a silent pressure to maintain relationships out of history or routine, even when they no longer serve you, even when they hurt more than they help. Ask yourself, do I feel lighter or more exhausted after spending time with this person? Can I express myself freely? Or do I need to filter every word? Does this relationship push me to grow, or does it keep me stuck? Setting boundaries doesn't mean isolation. It means making space for renewal and clarity. It means drawing the line against manipulation, endless drama, and chronic criticism. It's defending your peace and your time. It's learning that you don't need to justify every choice, and that prioritizing yourself is not guilt, it's growth. And it's not just about people. Sometimes it's the routines and social habits we keep out of fear of being alone, even though they add no value. Which social media, conversations, or environments leave you feeling less yourself, less focused, less alive? Begin an emotional decluttering. Identify at least one relationship, habit, or dynamic that no longer aligns with your best self, and set a clear boundary, respectfully but firmly. Decide to spend more time with people who elevate you, who support you, and who, by their example, remind you that growth is possible. And remember, silence, solitude, and personal space are also sacred. Napoleon Hill said it best, surround yourself with excellence and your mind will expand. Surround yourself with complaints and it will shrink. Your emotional balance is the foundation where peace, focus, and strong decision-making are born. Remember this. You are becoming a reflection of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Make a promise to yourself today. Set one clear boundary where it's needed. Have the honest conversation. Break the dynamic that no longer serves you. This is not ego. It is mental health and self-respect. When you purify your emotional environment, your mind sharpens, your energy rises, and your life begins to align from the inside out. And once both your external and internal environments reflect the person you wish to become, the next step is clear. Stop drifting aimlessly and start designing your path. Have you ever wondered why some people, who may not be smarter or wealthier, make consistent progress year after year, while others with enormous potential remain stuck? The difference is rarely luck. The secret lies in having a defined vision and the discipline to plan strategically. Tracy puts it bluntly. Success comes from small, well-organized efforts, repeated consistently each day. It's not enough to desire something passionately. You must translate that desire into a clear direction, and that direction into concrete actions. Living without a plan is like sailing a ship without a rudder. You may work hard, but you'll never know if you're heading in the right direction. Chaos takes over when everything feels urgent and nothing truly important gets done. When your week is consumed by emergencies, leaving no time for the essential. Even Marcus Aurelius, an emperor, made time to reflect, to write, and to think with strategy. Rohn warned us, if you don't design your own plan, you'll fall into someone else's. And guess what? They haven't planned it for your benefit. So ask yourself, Do you have a clear vision for the next months or years? Can you summarize it in a single sentence? Do you have defined goals or just endless to-do lists that never seem to end? How much of your week is invested in what truly matters, and how much in what is urgent or belongs to someone else? The first step is to sit with yourself and define, with brutal honesty, what progress really means to you. What would genuine growth look like this year? What does a life worth living mean for you? Don't stop at vague dreams. Break them into simple, specific, and measurable steps. Tracy recommends this process. Outline your yearly goals, then break them into monthly milestones, then weekly objectives, and finally, daily actions. Make weekly planning a non-negotiable habit. Every Sunday, or whichever day you prefer, spend 30 minutes reviewing your goals, measuring your progress, and defining your priorities for the next 7 days. Break down big tasks into manageable steps. Focus on what truly matters. Eliminate the unnecessary. Don't overcrowd your calendar. Leave room for reflection, for rest, and for creativity. Napoleon Hill reminded us, a clear goal, backed by a definite plan, turns every minute into something valuable. You don't need to control everything, but you do need to choose the essentials. Ask yourself, what 3 actions could I complete this week that would bring me closer to my vision? What can I delegate, delay, or eliminate to free my energy for what truly drives me? Planning is not rigidity, it's freedom. It liberates you from improvisation, from the regret of wasted time, and from the anxiety of drifting without direction. Remember, success is the result of small, well-planned actions repeated consistently over time. Make this commitment today. Choose one goal, break it into specific actions, and put them on your calendar. Review and adjust each night. Celebrate progress. Learn from mistakes. And now that you know where you're headed and how to move forward, it's time to care for the foundation of it all. Your body, your ability to focus, to make wise decisions, to resist impulses, to stay disciplined, and to maintain a positive attitude is deeply tied to the care you give your body. Jim Brown said it powerfully. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. Ask yourself, how do you wake up each morning? Full of energy and clarity, or drained and rushing? How often do you sacrifice exercise, rest, or a healthy meal because there's no time? How does your nutrition, your sleep, and your physical activity influence your clarity and your state of mind? The first step to bringing order to your body is simple, but it requires commitment. Move every day, even if it's just a short walk, a stretch, or dancing for a few minutes. It's not about intensity, it's about consistency. Value your sleep as an act of self-respect and as a key tool for productivity. Deep sleep is one of the greatest allies of a clear mind. Simplify your diet. Prioritize natural foods, reduce processed products and excess sugar. Eat with the intention of nourishing, not just filling your stomach. Listen to your body. Fatigue, stress, pain, or disconnection are signals you must not ignore. Joseph Murphy once taught, "The body is the sanctuary of the mind. If your body is inflamed, exhausted, or neglected, your mind cannot focus on what truly matters." You don't need to become an athlete or chase perfection. Keep it simple. Move daily, sleep well, eat consciously, and honor your body as it deserves. Take one concrete action today. Sleep a little longer, prepare a balanced meal, stretch for a few minutes, drink more water, or go for a walk. Celebrate each step as a small, invisible victory, yet one of the most powerful. Remember, a strong mind cannot exist in a neglected body. And if your body is the engine that drives you, your finances are the fuel that gives you freedom without anxiety. In the next step, you'll see how bringing your finances into order gives you not only mental clarity, but also the freedom to design the life you truly want, without the constant weight of financial stress. Finances in order, mind at peace. If you've ever felt that money is a source of tension, anxiety, or conflict, you are not alone. Financial chaos is one of the most common causes of worry and a sense of being stuck. But beyond the numbers, the real impact is on your peace of mind, your ability to act, and your sense of control. Brian Tracy summarizes it this way: either you control your money, or your money will control you. True order is not only about your external world, it requires you to take control of one of the resources that can either drain or empower your energy: your finances. When money is disorganized, your mind cannot find rest. Debt, unpaid bills, impulsive spending, and uncertainty about the future create a shadow that follows you everywhere. As Rohn said, money is a tool. If you don't use it consciously, it becomes a prison that limits your freedom. Napoleon Hill, in Think and Grow Rich, emphasized the importance of financial clarity as the foundation for any serious goal. Ask yourself, do I know exactly how much I earn, how much I spend, and how much I save each month? Do I face my finances with honesty, or do I avoid them out of discomfort? Does money give me options, or does it keep me in a constant state of lack? The first step to bringing order to your finances is transparency. Without judgment, take a notebook or a spreadsheet and write down every source of income and every expense in detail. Identify those unnecessary leaks, forgotten subscriptions, impulse buys, and decide which you can eliminate or reduce. This is not about deprivation. It's about living with intention and direction. Next, create a practical system. Reserve one day a week or at least one day each month to review your finances and plan your spending. Start building an emergency fund, no matter how small. If you have debts, design a progressive plan to pay them off, beginning with those that carry the highest interest. And remember to invest in yourself. Dedicate a portion of your resources to education, to your health, and to projects that move your life forward. Every dollar that passes through your hands represents time and energy from your life. Spend it with respect, with the awareness that money is not just about the present moment, but about your future stability and freedom. Bringing your finances into order is not simply about numbers. It's about reclaiming peace of mind. It's about knowing you are in control, that you can make decisions with clarity, and that your mind is free to create, to grow, and to enjoy life. Make a commitment today. Take one step, however small. Review your spending, cancel something unnecessary, list your debts, or simply resist making an impulsive purchase. Each gesture adds up, and with time, those quiet actions will turn into freedom and serenity. Remember, either you master your finances, or they will master you. And here's something crucial. Order, whether financial or in any other area of life, is not a perfect, predictable journey. In the next step, you'll discover why keeping your life in order requires adaptability and persistence. You'll learn to see setbacks not as failures, but as natural parts of the process. The key is not to never fall. It is to know how to get back on track again and again. Because authentic order is built with patience, with compassion toward yourself, and with the unshakable decision not to quit. Principle number 9, be flexible and be perseverant. Order is not a straight line. One of the most common mistakes people make is believing that once everything is organized, the work is done forever, as if order were a one-time project. But reality is different. Order, whether in your mind, your habits, your environment, or your finances, is a living process, constantly evolving and adjusting. Brian Tracy said it clearly. True discipline is adaptable. Consistency doesn't mean never failing. It means never giving up. Life is unpredictable. There will be days when, no matter how much you plan, everything falls apart. Days of exhaustion, unexpected commitments, intense emotions, or simply mistakes. Rohn reminded us, it's not the setback that defeats you, it's giving up. Organizing your life requires you to accept chaos, to accept missteps, and instead of punishing yourself, to learn to reset, realign, and keep moving forward with determination. Ask yourself, how do you react when things don't go as planned? Do you blame yourself, quit altogether, or do you pause, breathe, learn, and keep moving without drama? The Stoics understood this deeply. Epictetus taught that life does not demand perfection, only perseverance. Every fall is an opportunity to rise again. Real progress isn't measured by avoiding mistakes, but by your ability to rise, adjust, and move forward with new perspective. Here's a powerful tool. The next time you break a routine, forget a habit, or slip back into disorder, stop. Observe without judgment. Recognize what led you there. Then make one small change to bring yourself back on track. Let each restart be a sign of strength, not of failure. Be grateful for every new beginning, because within it lies the power of resilience. Flexible consistency is not weakness, it is wisdom in action. A tree that is too rigid will snap in a storm. A tree that bends will survive. Your system must have structure, but also room for adjustments. Solid organization doesn't collapse with every mistake or deviation, because it is designed to last. Napoleon Hill put it beautifully. Failure is only the seasoning of success, so don't fear chaotic days. Fear instead the inertia of resignation, the danger of giving up on your process. Reset your agenda as many times as necessary. Reorder your space, recommit to your health, rebuild your routine. Every restart strengthens your commitment. True discipline may stumble, but it never breaks. Make this promise today. If you fail, if you fall, if you lose your way, simply return. No guilt, no drama, no excuses. Choose consistency over perfection. Make the process your companion, not your judge. And now that you know order is a balance between structure and flexibility, you are ready for the final step. Turn order into an expression of self-love, not as a burden, not as an external imposition. In the last principle, you'll discover how every small act of organization can become an affirmation of your worth, your respect, and your dignity. And you'll see how celebrating each step will give you the energy to sustain order over time. Principle number 10. Transform order into a daily expression of self-care. Imagine how your life would feel if you stopped seeing order as a chore and instead embraced it as a way of honoring yourself every single day. True order is not born out of fear of chaos or obsession with control. It comes from the deep conviction that your life, your time, and your well-being are worth protecting. Tracy expressed it powerfully. Your surroundings, your habits, and your daily routine reflect what you believe you deserve. When you choose to get organized, you don't just do it to be more productive or to make a good impression. You do it because you know you deserve to live with clarity, serenity, and meaning. At that moment, order transforms into an act of profound love toward yourself. Every time you organize your space, plan your day, care for your body, or set a boundary, you're sending yourself the most powerful message. I value myself. I take care of myself. I take my life seriously. The Stoics knew this. Marcus Aurelius taught us to live each day as if it were our last, with presence, with dignity, and with respect. Rohn simplified it. Every small act of discipline is an act of self-respect. You don't need to have everything perfect before you begin treating yourself with value. Every small step forward deserves recognition. Ask yourself, how would my attitude shift if I saw order as a gift I give myself? What small act can I take today to remind myself that I deserve calm and purpose? Am I waiting for outside approval? Or can I learn to honor my own progress? Make your routine a meaningful ritual. In the morning, give yourself a few minutes to connect with your mind before checking your phone. When you tidy your space, do it as though you are honoring something sacred, not serving a sentence. When you plan your day, do it with intention, gratitude, and clarity. When daily actions become acts of self-love, organization stops being a burden. It becomes the foundation of an authentic life. Celebrate your growth, even if no one else notices. Value consistency over perfection. It is joy in the process that fuels discipline and makes order sustainable, not obligation, but purpose and fulfillment. Remember this: order is one of the most powerful forms of self-love. Today, choose to treat your existence as something precious. Acknowledge every step forward, however small. Don't let your life dissolve into days without direction or structure. Make order your greatest act of self-care, because you deserve to live with clarity, serenity, and purpose. And now that you've walked through these 10 principles and realized that both outer and inner order are expressions of self-love, it's time to pause and consolidate your commitment. In the conclusion, I'll remind you why this journey is worth the effort, how to maintain it over time, and how every single day has a real impact on the life you are building. You've reached the end of this path toward conscious organization, and that alone is already an act of love and responsibility toward yourself. Order is not a luxury, nor is it an eccentricity. It is the solid ground upon which peace, personal achievement, and fulfillment are built. Each of the 10 steps we've explored goes far beyond rules. They are tools to help you reclaim your energy, your focus, and your direction. Jim Rohn, Tracy, Napoleon Hill, and the great Stoic philosophers all agreed on one principle. Life does not improve by chance. It improves when you make intentional decisions and act on them each day. Disorder does not disappear on its own. If you don't give shape to your world, chaos will take its place. It will invade your calendar, your mind, your home, your relationships, your health, and your future. But now, you have the tools to change direction, to wake up and take control, to structure your days with purpose, to ritualize your mornings and your evenings, to bring order to your physical and digital spaces, to clarify your emotions, to think long-term, to care for your body, to manage your finances, to balance flexibility with consistency, and above all, to treat order as an expression of love toward yourself. And the best part, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to change everything overnight. Real transformation happens through small, consistent, conscious choices. Every time you choose order, acknowledge your progress, and give yourself permission to begin again, you create a life that is more authentic, more free, more yours. If this message brought you value, like this video, subscribe, download the audio from the link in the description, and most importantly, go to the comments and write, "Today I commit to bringing order into my life." Write it as a declaration of commitment to yourself and as an inspiration to others who are ready to transform their reality. Remember, order is the root of freedom and success. Begin with one corner, one decision, one routine. Today is the perfect moment to start bringing order to your world, because every day counts and your future self will thank you. Thank you for reaching this point and for dedicating this time to yourself. I'll see you in the next video. Make order your closest companion and begin building the life you truly deserve. If this message inspired you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our motivational speeches. Every week, we upload content that can help you transform your life. See you in the next video.